Welcome to this video on how to spend an awesome day in Hong Kong. We're going to explore some of the best spots you can visit in just one day, whether you're here for a quick stopover or looking to plan your next adventure. We're going to show you how we spent the day here, which might give you an idea of how you can spend your day here. So let's get started on today's adventure in Hong Kong. We left the hotel which we were staying at, which was in the Causeway Bay area of Hong Kong, at around 9 o'clock in the morning. And our first stop was to grab a few treats for today's adventure. And we stopped at this famous bakery called Bakehouse, where you'll find a great selection of donuts, croissants, cookies. And they've got a famous egg tart here, which is made out of sourdough croissant crust. And they're all freshly made in-house too, so we thought it'd be a good idea to start the day off by buying a few treats to take with us to eat throughout the day. And we're going to take you to the first stop that we're going to visit today, which is Hong Kong History Museum. So to get there, we'll take the subway, or the MTR as it's known, which stands for Mass Transit Railway. And it's a great way to get around the city. We got it from the closest station to us, which is Causeway Bay Station. And from here you'll take the Blue Island Line to Admiralty Station. And then from here you'll get the Red Sun Wan Line to Tsim Sha Tsui Station. And apologies for any pronunciation errors. And the National Museum's not far from here. It's about a 12-minute walk from Tsim Sha Tsui Station. And as we take a walk to the museum, we pass through the station and the shopping mall onto the streets and past this popular red tea shop, which is popular for its buttered pineapple bun as well as other dishes. And a couple of little facts for you now about Hong Kong. It's one of the world's safest destinations, and you can drink the water straight from the tap, although I'd still recommend buying bottled water, as the pipes in a lot of the buildings are old-fashioned, so the quality of water passing through them may deteriorate. And the name Hong Kong translates in Chinese to fragrant harbour. And this is an example of the kind of restaurants that they have here, with all the fresh seafood, and they don't come any fresher than this. You've got fish and crabs and lobster. We mentioned the Hong Kong's Museum of History, and next to this place is a Museum of Science, although it was closed when we come, and we'll have a look into the Museum of History now. And this is free to come and visit. It's got lots of different colourful displays which illustrate some of the different eras from Hong Kong and China's history, as well as some of the religions that played its part throughout its history. And there's an interactive quiz game that you can play to test your knowledge, as well as other interesting historical facts and pieces of information. And as you walk through the museum, there's different areas that showcase lots of the artefacts from times gone by, including these pots and bowls, and in particular this big pot, which they don't make like this anymore. The craftsmanship and the time and effort that must have been used into making some of these or something like this is something that you wouldn't get nowadays. And that was Hong Kong's Museum of History, and a few minutes walk from here is an area that you can go and sit and relax for a bit. And you may remember us buying some goodies earlier, so this was a good opportunity for us to try that famous egg tart that we bought earlier. And we always like to keep it real and give you our honest opinion, and it was okay, but I'd say the egg tarts in KFC are just as good.
So we've just been to see the National History Museum, and then we're going to go and see the Bruce Lee statue, which is about a 10-minute walk from here.
So yeah, there we go. The next stop that we're going to go and see is the larger-than-life statue of Bruce Lee, which is located on the Avenue of Stars, and it's not too far from here along the waterfront. And it might not look very hot here on video, but it's deceptively humid and warm. And what is good is that there's many places where you can stop and fill up your water bottle. And Hong Kong's known as a water city, and you can't not come here without seeing the harbour with all the different types of boats that come in and out. And back when Hong Kong was a British colony, there's still a lot of British named places here, like Victoria Harbour. That was named after the monarch Queen Victoria in January 1841. And just near the Bruce Lee statue, which I've not forgotten about, and we'll get to that in a second, is this ticketing counter where you can purchase tickets to take a water taxi and get some amazing views of Hong Kong from the water. Now, onto the statue of Bruce Lee, which was made by the sculptor Chow Chong-en and dedicated in 2005. It's based on a ready-to-strike pose from one of his movies, The Fist of Fury. And it was a nice tribute to the actor who died at the young age of 32. And there's always many tourists around here embarrassing themselves by intimidating the star's unique pose. And we were no different, with Fang opting for the traditional boxer's pose, and me trying to replicate some of his famous Wing Chun moves, which was the first style he trained in under the great Sifu Ip Man, before combining different arts into his own style, which was Jeet Kune Do. And there's another statue here, which is this one sculpted by the same artist of Bruce Lee, and this is a statue of Anita Mui, who made major contributions to the cantopop music scene. And we'll take a walk down the Avenue of Stars, which is just near the statues, and you'll get to see more stunning views of Hong Kong from here. And engraved in these wooden railings are handprints of famous people from the Hong Kong's entertainment world, whom, if I'm honest, I'd never heard of, which isn't surprising because I didn't know anything about Hong Kong before coming here, apart from they've competed in Olympics and they have a red flag. And in and around this area are some high-end shopping malls that are popular for shopping tours. And you can see why with the elegant designs and architecture. And we're going to take the subway once again to our next stop on today's mini adventure in Hong Kong, which is to the observation wheel. And the observation wheel's not far from Central Station. To get there from the subway, or the MTR as it's known, we've got the train from East Stim Sat 2 station to Central Station. And then from Central Station, it's about a 10-minute walk from here to get to the observation wheel, which is kind of like the London Eye or the Singapore Flyer of Hong Kong, although a bit smaller than those, but it's still quite a big wheel. It's 60 metres high. And from Central Station, it's a pleasant walk to get to the observation wheel, although if you wanted a different mode of transport, you could take the water taxi from Victoria Harbour, or where we showed you earlier near the Bruce Lee statue, to the Central Pier, which is the pier right next to the observation wheel. And there's no shortage of places to grab a bite to eat round here. We bought a couple of drinks and snacks. And sitting on the dinosaur's optional while you're waiting for your food to be prepared. Fang got the dim sum by the looks of it, and I got a sandwich. And you might have heard that Hong Kong's expensive, and it's more expensive than other Asian cities that we've been, but I'd say it's about the same as what you'd pay in European cities. For example, these two drinks cost 80 Hong Kong dollars, which converts to around £8.20. And the prices are always higher at tourist places like this. But saying that, to ride on the observation wheel, it was half the price of the drinks, which I thought was kind of bizarre, really. As you can see on the screen, it cost just 20 Hong Kong dollars per person, which is about £2 in English money. And even better news, if you're over 65 as well, it'll cost you 10 Hong Kong dollars, which is about £1. And I'm paying for that using the Octopus card, which you can use for all the different attractions as well as the transport. And time to ride the wheel, and we'll show you some of these breathtaking panoramic views of the Hong Kong skyline and the picturesque harbour from 60 metres up in the sky. And the ride time of this wheel is about 15 minutes, and if I remember correctly, I think it goes round either 2 or 3 times, which is enough to take in the views and get some nice pictures along the way. And you can purchase your tickets online for this if you prefer not to wait in the queue. And they take your photo before you get on the ride, and you can buy it when you get off. And that's probably how they make the money here. And for once, we didn't buy a photo. We normally do, but not today. And there's other attractions here as well, not just the observation wheel, like the Hong Kong Maritime Museum, which only closes 2 days of the year on Chinese New Year. And as our luck would have it, that was one of the days that we come. So we couldn't get to see that, unfortunately. But we could get to see some of the views from Central Pier, overlooking, or should I say, Central Star Ferry Pier, as it's known, overlooking the harbour. And another fact about Hong Kong for you now is that it has more skyscrapers than any other city in the world.
Interesting.
And we're going to get the MTR once again now from Central Station back to Causeway Bay, the area where we set off from this morning. And this time we'll take the Blue Island line back from here, which is only 3 stops away. It takes around 7 minutes. And I said I'll show you some of the food that you can have here, and there really is so many choices to choose from. And walking through the MTR, you'll see lots of these bakeries called Maxim's Cakes, which has grown into one of the largest bakery chains that run along the MTR network and across the city. And for you English viewers, it's kind of like the Greggs of Hong Kong. And back out from Causeway Bay Station, there's lots of places for shopping in this area. And in fact, Hong Kong's considered a shopping haven, and this could be due to the fact that Hong Kong has no sales tax, meaning that it's tax-free basically, and add that to the huge discounts that are offered from many of the outlet stores, between 30 and 70%, it makes it a paradise for shopping bargain hunters. And as well as boats and trains and the famous Hong Kong red taxis, there's another mode of transport that's hugely popular here, and that's the tram, or the ding ding as it's known. And you can ride these using an Oyster card as well, and it's referred to affectionately by the locals as ding ding from the warning sound of the bell, which is rung when the tram's in motion. We'll have a look at some of the food here in Hong Kong, and there's many restaurants and shopping malls like this one we went to, which was called Lee Theatre at Lee Gardens. And we went to this restaurant called Assam Chicken Rice, which was on the first floor. And like a lot of restaurants nowadays, you can order online by scanning the QR code from your mobile phone. And once you've chose what you want, you just send your order to the chef who'll prepare it for you. And this meal consisted of kaya butter toast. There was chicken noodles and a curry sauce, some spinach, and a hot and spicy shrimp soup. And the currency in Hong Kong is Hong Kong dollars, with the largest denomination being a $1,000 note, like the one on the screen, which I used to pay for this meal. And the meal came to 198 Hong Kong dollars. And I'll show you some of the other denominations of the notes that I have here, just in case you're interested. And these are included in my change, which was a $500 note, a $100 note, 50, a 20, and a 10.
Not 50.
And this city has so much to offer. We've only just scratched the surface of some of the things that you can do here. Although I hope this video has given you some ideas of the things that you can do and see for a day in Hong Kong. But we're not finished in Hong Kong just yet. If you are interested in other things that you can do in this amazing city, then you can check out some of our other videos that I've made, which are coming up on the screen for you now.